Hey there, my name's Dave and welcome to another Guitar Zero to Hero song tutorial. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you an acoustic version of In the End by Linkin Park, which is one of the best rock songs of all time in my personal opinion. In order to play this in the song's original key, we will need to get into flat tuning. So from your standard tuning, E down to E flat. So that's E flat, otherwise known as D sharp. Then A down to A flat, otherwise known as G sharp, then D down to D flat, otherwise known as C sharp, G down to G flat, otherwise known as F sharp, and then B down to B flat, otherwise known as A sharp, and then our high E down to E flat, otherwise known as D sharp. So pretty simple, all the strings go down a half step, and that's our flat tuning. Of course, you can play everything I teach you in this lesson in standard tuning, but it will be a half step higher than the original recording. So once we're in flat tuning, we're good to go. Now, if you want to master your chords back to front, then be sure to head over to guitarzerotohero.com to pick up my free guitar ebook. Or if you're fairly new to guitar and you're looking to build a strong and solid foundation, but you don't know where to start, then be sure to check out the Guitar Zero to Hero Premium course and membership, which gives you all the guidance to play with confidence. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. Let's jump into the lesson. Okay, let's start with the intro riff, which is a lot of fun to play. We're going to start with an E minor chord, so I'll play that with my index middle finger on the second frets of the 5th and 4th string. Now I'm going to start by doing a stroke on the top 3 strings. So from the 6th string to the 4th string. Doesn't really matter if you hit more strings than that in the E minor, but we kind of just want to focus on those heavier strings. So after that first stroke, on the 2 beat, we're going to pluck up on the 2nd string, then down on the 4th string, back up to the 2nd, back to the 4th, and then finally one more upstroke on the 3rd string. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to go to a D at 11 shape. So it's basically the same as a C chord shape, but we're going to shift it up 2 frets to the 5th fret position. So ring finger on 5th fret of the 5th, middle finger on the 4th fret of the 4th string. You don't necessarily need to put your index finger down on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string for this, but you can if you want to. Now our rhythm is going to be very similar to the first bar. So we'll start off on the 1 beat by just focusing on the 5th and the 4th strings. After that, on the 2 beat, we'll then pluck up on the 4th, down on the 5th, up on the 4th string again, down on the 5th string, and then down on the 4th string, and then finally one upstroke on the open 3rd, and the bar in total. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. For the 3rd bar, we're going to shift this exact same shape down 2 frets. So it's basically a C major 7 chord shape. For the first stroke, we're going to hit the 5th, 4th, and if you want to, the open 3rd string as well. On the 2 beat, we'll pluck up on the 2nd string, down on the 4th string, up on the 2nd, down on the 4th, and then finally one upstroke on the open 3rd. So it's very similar to the E bar, but we're now fretting the C major 7 instead. So this 3rd bar, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then the 4th bar returns back to the D at 11, and it's the same as the 2nd bar in terms of picking and rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. We put that all together, and the first line of tab sounds like this for the intro. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, one thing to note dynamically, you kind of want to emphasize those notes that we're plucking up on, and they're on the beat. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Those notes that are on the beat, 1, 2, 3, 4, those are the notes that you kind of want to ring out a bit louder. And the end beats, the notes in between, I kind of pluck them very lightly. Sometimes you kind of can't even hear them at all. That's just a stylistic choice, completely up to you as to how you play it. But again, take note, on the 2, 3, and 4 beat, that's when you want to accent those notes and play them a bit louder. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, The second line tab is identical except for the fourth bar. When we go back to the D at 11, we're just gonna strum the chord and hold it out. That's it for the intro, which will sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we get to the verse. The verse is a really simple chord progression. We start off with an E minor, then we're going to go to a D over A. Now it's basically the same as a C over G chord shape, but we're shifting it up 2 frets. So technically this is also called a D at 11 over A, but I'm just going to call it D over A for simplicity down below. So ring and pinky fingers on the 5th frets of the 6th and 5th string, middle finger on the 4th fret of the 4th, and index finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. So you just strum from the 6th string up to the 2nd. You can just keep the 1st string muted there. So that's our D over A. Then for the 3rd bar, we go to a C over G, and then back to our D over A. So it's essentially the same chord progression as what we had for the intro, but our chords are just thickened up a little bit. Now in terms of strumming, I have a suggested strumming pattern here. It's a 16th note strumming pattern that sounds like this. Down, down, up, up, down, 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 up. And in succession, it would sound like this. Down, down, up, up, down, 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 up, up, down, 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 up. Of course, that's just a suggestion, so feel free to experiment and improvise with your own strumming pattern. We play that once for each chord, and the verse will simply sound like this. And that's just repeated again and again. Next we get to chorus 1. We're going to use the same strumming pattern. We're just going to mix the chords up a little bit. So we have E minor, then we have a G, then a D chord shape, and then finally a C chord shape. So that chord progression will sound like this. That's played through twice for chorus number 1. Then we have another verse and then chorus number 2, which is almost the same as chorus 1, except we have an added bar here. After we've played the main progression twice, we then just hit a C and let it hold out for a full bar. After that is the first part of the bridge. Now the first half of the bridge is essentially just the same as the intro. We're going to play that riff. I've already shown you that earlier, so no need to dive into it again. For the second half of the bridge, where everything kicks in and the emotion really starts soaring, we are going to play the same chords as the chorus. So the E minor, the G, D, and C. Then we have chorus 3, which is the same as chorus 1, and then there's the outro. The outro is very similar to the intro with a couple of changes. So for the 8th bar, when we go back to this D at 11, we are playing it for the full picking pattern. We're not just hitting it and letting it ring out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and we then play one more bar of music. What we're going to do is put our index finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. You'll pluck 4th string, then 3rd, 2nd, 1st. Then with your free middle finger, go to the 2nd fret of the 1st string, up to the 3rd fret of the 1st string, and then lift your pinky finger, so back to this position, so E minor at 9, and strum that chord, and that's the ending. So the bar in total. And those are all the parts to this acoustic version of In the End, which is, in my opinion, one of the best rock songs of all time. It's really just so incredible. So now I'll be doing a full playthrough of the song with a vocal track on top for some context. Feel free to play this back as many times as you'd like to practice, play along to, and see how you go.
It starts with one finger.
Thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this lesson, then I know you'll absolutely love these other lessons too. So hit the link here. Or if you want to grab a copy of my free guitar ebook, then head over to guitarzerotohero.com or click the link here. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys next time on Guitar Zero to Hero. Cheers.